Donald Trump may not have ended the Ukraine war, but he has paused the chip war. That's the global battle for semiconductors, and guess who's benefiting? Chip giant Nvidia. Their CEO, Jensen Huang, is in China. It's a victory come flattery tour. Huang met top Chinese officials in Beijing. He also visited a supply chain expo in the city, and everywhere he went, he sang praises of China's technology. Listen to this.
China is moving incredibly fast because the model layer with DeepSeek and Alibaba QN and Moonshot, Kimi, right? All excellent technologies. And in fact, DeepSeek is the world's first open source reasoning model. And it was a breakthrough, no question.
The products that are manufactured here in China are unimaginable, really. It is not possible without a sophisticated supply chain. And so that's why I'm here, to celebrate the miracle of the supply chain in the China supply chain.
And he did not stop there. Jensen Huang called China's AI tech a catalyst for progress. Like I said, it's flattery on steroids. But why? Because Nvidia wants to sell chips in China, specifically the H20 chip. Some quick background here. The US-China chip war flared up under Joe Biden. In 2023, Biden announced restrictions on chip sales to China. You couldn't sell advanced semiconductors or advanced chips to Beijing. Why? Because the US wanted to retain its lead. Washington feared that China would use these chips in military equipment or maybe build advanced AI platforms with American chips. So in 2023, the Americans banned such sales. And this was a big setback to Nvidia. They got around 13% of their revenue from China, so the company came up with a solution. They made a chip especially for China, the H20. That's what they made. The H20 is not advanced enough to be banned. At the same time, it's good enough to create demand. Just one problem, though. In April this year, Donald Trump banned the H20 as well. He said Nvidia cannot sell this chip to China. And since then, we've seen multiple rounds of talks. China flexed their muscles too. They curbed the export of rare earth magnets to the US. These are key to making all sorts of things. From fighter jets to mobiles to cars, you need rare earths for all of these. China has a near monopoly on these rare earth magnets. And they leverage this monopoly to bring Trump to the talking table. And it worked. Last month, he struck a trade deal with the Chinese. Trump allowed Nvidia to sell H20 chips to China, and in return, China relaxed the rare earth curbs. Which brings us to present day. Nvidia has announced that it will resume selling H20 chips to China, but many US politicians are not happy about this. They feel that the ban should have continued. Of course, the White House is pushing back. They say the H20 is not cutting edge. They claim it's only the fourth best semiconductor, and therefore, there is nothing to worry. Now, this raises two questions. A, what does this mean for Nvidia? And B, what does it mean for the chip war? For Nvidia, of course, this is good news. The H20 ban was starving them of more money. They were missing out on almost $10 billion in sales. Now, reports say Jensen Huang himself lobbied Trump. He visited the White House last week. He's said to have urged Trump to lift the ban. And frankly, this is turning out to be a great time for Nvidia. First, they hit $4 trillion in value, $4 trillion. Now they unlock the Chinese market. So for Nvidia, it's going great. Which brings us to the second question. What does it mean for the chip war? Has it officially ended? Well, that depends on three factors. Number one, Trump's trade war with China. If it flares up again, Trump may reverse his decision. He may ban the H20 sales again. Number two, the internal policy tussle in America. American politicians are mostly China hawks. They would like to see a ban on chip sales to Beijing. But US companies, they see China as a lucrative market. It's a question of who can prevail on the president. The politicians or the companies. This time, Jensen Huang has succeeded, but in future, who knows? And finally, the third factor, China's long-term strategy. When Biden banned chip exports, Beijing turned inwards. They began building their own advanced chips. But now the ban is lifted. So will China continue building their own, or will they go back to depending on the US? Knowing China, they will do the former, they will build their own. Beijing cannot rely on Trump's mood swings. They will want a reliable pipeline of chips. So as things stand, this appears to be a short pause in the chip war, a break, not peace.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor
Hindi,
$30 trillion kakaijmo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan
Italian,
sekali radikali.
Japanese,
4兆ドル以上も
Portuguese,
por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select a language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.